Hello, beautiful Leo. Welcome to your tarot reading. So, let's see what the tarot cards have in store for you for the next weeks. There's a lot going on here. Like, this reading was low-key crazy. It's as if you are detaching the next weeks and letting go of something that you've been holding on dearly to, perhaps, or something difficult from your past or some conditioning. It might be a toxic situation that you've been entangled in, and there's just this sense of having accepted the status quo for a while or not being able to untangle yourself to getting some information. There is some communication or information coming in that allows you to start breaking free of this, or that gives you that information that you needed, that last piece to realize that no, this can't go on for any longer, or this is too far. So there is just something coming in here, and as soon as it does, you start making changes, you start detaching or trying to move away from the situation. And there's this energy of a lot of conflicts or overthinking, agony perhaps, or something being a little bit difficult as you try to break away from this. And you also have Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and the Lovers here. So you have 666. So you might try to build some stability and balance for yourself, Leo. Maybe this is some damage control or course correcting your life, changing your timeline. It might be this toxic situation is you constantly putting yourself on fire to keep other people warm, and other people or this situation are now at this stage where they just expect this from you. They have started to rely on you to do these things for them, and you have no boundaries or no private life, or just no sense of structure. There's just, it might be this energy of chaos that you want to organize and bring into structure this month. It might be a mental state, your mind, a relationship, a friendship, a family situation, job place, what have you. And there might be these intellects butting heads or hostilities or conflict as you break free. And the outcome cards puzzled me a bit too at first, because you had two cards that want to come out. But let's just get into it, beautiful Leo, and see what's up here for you. So the overall energy here, you got the cleaning house card, but in reverse. So this card is Spirit asking you to look into yourself and clean your house, your mentality, your memories, what you're holding on to, your thought patterns, your conditioning, and just have that courage that you have, Leo. You are the courage card, to look into yourself and be honest and see, why am I doing this? Why am I reacting like this? Why am I not doing this? Why do I have these boundaries but not those? And you might be holding on to something that reminds you of your past or something from your past. It might even be physical objects around you in your house that bring on memories, and even difficult memories, or this sense of who you used to be perhaps. But there's just this sense of holding on to something. You might be a person who attracts broken people, Leo, and you constantly meet fixer-uppers, like these people that are emotional projects. And if breaking free from that is what this month is about for you, then Spirit urges you to leave this project like a hot potato. Like, it's time to clean your house, Leo. And you might have this identity that evolves a lot around being needed. Leos, you are protectors, you're taking care of people, you're the family person, you're the nurturer, you're so caring and giving and extremely generous. So if your identity is evolving around being needed, then Spirit is telling you that, Leo, being needed isn't giving you what you need. And you have to start discombobulating this entangled web and organize it and set things straight to give you what you need for your spiritual journey. This is your life, Leo. You have to live it for you, not for other people, because you're snuffing out your soul. If you're in this toxic situation and this reading is for you, it might not be, because this might be your sun sign, and maybe your moon sign or Venus might resonate instead, or your rising. You'll figure out and just check out the other signs. But if this is your reading, Leo, this is a few weeks coming up for you where you should put yourself first and give all of that love and generosity that you so freely give to the people in your pack, and redirect it back to yourself, Leo. And you might resist letting go of this emotional baggage initially, but once you do let go, which I see is happening here, you'll feel amazing. Like literally a weight is lifted off your shoulders. And the universe is also telling you that the universe is saying, Leo, I don't like voids. I need everything to be filled. There must be energy everywhere. So when you let go of this thing that doesn't serve you, I will come and put in something much better in place. You know, the universe will automatically fill that void of what you're letting go with something better. But you have to make that space so universe can fill in something better for you. So this is your part of the deal. You have to clean house, Leo, and then the universe will bring something so much better for you. So just let go of that energy blockage, and the universe will give you what you actually deserve in its place, Leo. So in your past, you have the Four of Coins, Leo. This is the energy of holding on to something, having difficulties with adjusting to changes or accepting changes. It's an energy of unhealthy boundaries, and that might be too big boundaries, like your walls are too large and up all the time, they're never down. But it might also be those boundaries that are barely in place and practically non-existent. Those are also very unhealthy. So there is something here, and I just get the sense that it's something related to the past for a lot of you, but I think you might have some difficulties seeing that connection, how this relates, this situation and your past for some of you, because it might not be that obvious. And when I look at this image, I see him being still, but I see this foot here going back and forth, making this dent or this dip in the soil here, because the leg is just moving back and forth. And as I keep looking at it, I see that he wants these two legs to meet, but this leg isn't budging. So this might be you or the other situation, but someone is holding on to something. It might be resentment or negative thought patterns, bad self-esteem or something like that, or a memory, or how things used to be. Something is being very rigid and stuck, and the other part is trying to make that compromise. The other part is trying to make that connection and trying to make that union. But there you have that one side that just won't budge. They won't take that olive branch. If that's what it is, they won't meet halfway. And as this is happening, I see that coin in front of in front of the root chakra is falling down the stairs. It makes me think that as this is going on, this situation that is being very stuck, that it is causing something to fall apart, the foundation in your life perhaps, or in this other person's life. But there's a sense that it's affecting perhaps finances or living arrangement or your work area or something more tangible. Oh, sorry, that's a hard word. You know what I mean. But, or maybe health as well. Because someone isn't budging, someone doesn't want to change. They are holding on to something, a way something has used to be, perhaps, as well. And at the root of your behavior and what's driving you, you have the shadow side, Leo. And I feel when I look at these, I feel they're so directly linked. I can't set them apart. It's hard to read them as separate cards because they feel very connected and intertwined. But at the same time, as I mentioned, it's as if it's hard for some of you to realize that these two things are detached or interlinked somehow. But there is something in the root of your behavior that it's controlling your reactions or your actions, or there's a person or a situation that has a great deal of influence on your behavior or the way you base your choices off, or how you just react and behave. And I think for many of you, this is something linked to your past, something that is deeply rooted in your consciousness. So it's subconscious. This might be your childhood, because it might be some conditioning. And like, for example, if you're not aware of how one is affecting the other, you might go back, for example, as Spirit said with that cleaning house card. Spirit said that maybe your identity is evolving around needing to be needed. Then that makes me curious, Leo. And I invite you to be curious. And maybe go back memory lane and think, why is that? As a child, would you only be noticed when you offered help? Or when is your earliest memory that you remember getting validation for being of use? And how did that make you feel? And in the opposition to that, how would your surroundings react to you if you were the person needing anything? If you needed to cry, if you needed consolation, if you needed to feel safe, if you needed something from the people around you, how was the reaction that you got? How were you met? If you needed a hug, if you needed to feel loved, if you needed validation, how did the surroundings react to you? And compare that to how did the surroundings react to you when you were of use and when you were of service. So just be a little bit curious and try to unpack it and try to link it to this situation here. Whatever situation that you've ended up in here, try to be a little detective about it. It might also be that, for example, if you feel that being good equals having zero judgment towards others and accepting everything from everyone. Maybe you feel that being a nice person is the same as not having boundaries because you believe compassion and boundaries are mutually exclusive. So if you were ever made to feel like your basic needs were a burden or a nuisance growing up, or maybe you had to be your caregiver's therapist growing up. You always had to regulate your own emotions because they would impact your caregiver's emotions so much. And maybe you had a caregiver that overshared or told you too much adult stuff. So you had to be adult and take a lot of emotional responsibility very early on, perhaps. You know, there are a myriad of examples, but there's just something here that might not be too obvious, but it's connected to this situation right here. Like, there are some driving forces here that drives your choices, what you do, what you don't do, what you accept, what you won't accept, to big boundaries or to small boundaries. And Spirit is urging you, as I said, to clean house and let go of things that belong in the past. Because they belong in the past. They shouldn't affect your life. If you were hurt in the past, that's enough. You've been hurt in the past, and it's just not good for you if it's going to have the power to keep hurting you in your present and in your future, Leo. You don't deserve that. So in your present, you have a message coming in, it looks like. So there is some communication here. There is as if something is coming in that enables you to start moving. You're making that move. You're taking that first step. Or it might be that this is just the last piece of the puzzle that enables you to launch something that you've been missing, perhaps. It might be monetary or some practical aid that you needed to get off of this situation, to move away from it. When I look at it though, even whatever this is, if you're moving house, relocating, changing jobs, traveling, maybe even for pleasure, you're just putting yourself first. It feels heavy and difficult. It's as if I see these two elements being pulled with the boat. So the boat moves very slowly. It's very laborsome. It's heavy. It's not an easy move. Whatever you do, you're putting in the work. You're putting your head down. And you're doing what it takes, Leo, but it's not easy. But whatever coming in here, I feel this sense of determination. This energy that comes in, information, message, whatever it is, there's this sense of determination for you now. You have the 3 of coins here. So there's like you're arranging papers, maybe documents, or creating a plan. You're making an agreement, perhaps. Whatever it is, you're willing to put in the work. You're determined. And whatever course correction you do, it brings conflict or difficulties. And you are aware. There's not like this is taking you off guard. You know that. But you're very determined because it's as if all of this chaos that you are sorting out, you are seeing this at the other end. Structure, discipline, organization, and things being in line and aligned. So it's as if you're going into this with your eyes open, and now is the time, and it has to be done. It's I think for many of you this isn't enjoyable. It's not the ideal outcome, but there's this strict sense that, well, this is necessary. It has to be done. It can't go on the way it has. And here in your hopes and fears, you have the Emperor. So yeah, as I said, it's that hope, that structure is going to come after chaos. It's like this is your vision. So when you are initiating all of this, it's your eye is on this prize here. I also see that because this is organization and structure and discipline, but it's your end goal might be to bring a family back together, to settle a group of conflict, to create harmony, or to become harmonized within yourself, like to get thicker skin. This might be an Aries. If this is a person that you are, this might be a father figure. So if this is a love reading or something for you, you might hope for this person. Somebody loving, nurturing, somebody in control that, is very organized and authoritative. It's a leader, a father figure. But it might be also you hoping to lead this family or bring family back together or leading a group of people or whatever it is. And your near future, you have this 5 of Wands. So this is competition, it's pettiness, it's squabbling. So this might be the result, but I also see that it is you tying up loose ends. It's you keep organizing or keep putting in that work that you have to do. yeah, for example, if you have 4 weeks notice, you have to keep working those 4 weeks, or you have to put an end to subscriptions and close off deals, close off things. It's just organizing and tying up the loose ends. If you're moving house, it's everything you have to arrange. It's just all of those things that you have to get in order. In your environment, Leo, you have the Eight of Cups. So it's as if you're leaving this toxic environment behind. And it's very interesting that of all the cups you have here, because there are no cups in this reading except the ones you're leaving behind, it makes me think that you leave behind this to find cups that are actually filled, that actually have something for you. So this is moving on, leaving something behind. And it's also about asserting healthy boundaries. So you go from having these unhealthy boundaries, Leo, to having these healthy boundaries because you're leaving something behind. A way of being, a way of behaving, or a toxic environment, perhaps, toxic people. What's coming in for you in the next few weeks? You have the Six of Pentacles. So this is all about paying your karmic debt. It's about giving back to the community. It's about volunteering. It's about getting aid, being helped, getting what you need. This might be funding or a small loan or whatever. But for many of you, I feel this is linked to this message, that this is what's coming in for you. And because this is coming in, you can untether yourself from this toxic situation. In your outcome, Leo, you have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Lovers. So there's an energy of cutting off something that we see that the next weeks are about. And it's going to change your future. And when I see this card, I see a cigarette being stumped, like tossed to the ground and stumped with the heel of your shoe, which makes me think that you've been participating in something that's toxic for you, that you know isn't good for you, but you're putting an end to it now. You're cutting it out. You're closing it off. And the Six of, or the Lovers, this is number 6, creating that harmony and being imbalanced. This might be your masculine and feminine side within yourself, coming to this harmony and equilibrium, feeling whole, feeling imbalanced within yourself. This is about choices. So I think this choice that you're making is going to impact your future, and in a very good way. And yeah, this choice might often be between your head and your heart. So it might be a choice, you know, that choices that are good for you long run often are painful in the short run. And choices that are good for you immediately are often damaging you in the long run. So it feels as if it's one of those choices where it sucks in the short run. There is unpleasantness, but in the long run, it's going to be very good for you. It might also be that in the past, you have wasted your talents, your dreams, because you might have done what's been expected of you or what you feel is right, what you feel other people will respect, and you might have put your passions, your artistic side or something on the back burner because you felt it's not the right thing to do, or people will laugh at it or make fun of it or something like that. So whatever it is that you're doing, it's very beautiful. It's going to really course correct your life, Leo. This might be a romantic relationship too, that this is where you're headed for, and you're cutting out something that was toxic to head for something that isn't toxic. And here are your advice and what you should be aware of, Leo. So your advice is the Ten of Swords. I feel when I look at this card, I feel keep your eye on the prize and try not to focus on negative things or negative thoughts. Don't let those get the best of you or put you down, your own thoughts perhaps, or other people's gossiping or mean things or betrayals or memories, sort of like that. But this card is also about you have to listen to your intuition and your gut feeling. Even though whatever you're doing now, it might not seem logic, people might go up against you and think you should do something else. And this might only make sense to you, Leo, but you're the only person it has to make sense to, because this is your life. You're the main character of your life. So other people, it's easy for them to have all of these ideas and stuff like that. I feel the sense that a lot of you also want to let loose and not be so formal, and want to go into a state of being more relaxed and more casual. So that might be what this is about for a lot of you. This might also be a group of people that don't accept you and cherish you like the unique and special person that you are. They don't give you the treatment that you are worthy of, Leo. You're beautiful, you are so generous and so kind. And that group of people you surround yourself with might not reflect that. And this is indicative of betrayal and deceit. So listen to your intuition and do what's right for you. That's your advice from Spirit. And beware. And then you got the Seven of Swords as the beware card. So people might not have your best interest at heart. Somebody might be stealing, skimming off the books, making you look bad, putting you in a bad light, perhaps. And there's also an advice here that you can solve this. If there's some solution you need to conjure up, you can do something that's never been done before. You can be creative, you can think outside the box. There are other solutions. You don't have to pick amongst those who already are there, Leo. Because you're smart, you're creative, and yeah, you're street smart. So this advice is just to tap into that and be original. You can create a totally new path, a new solution to fix whatever this is. So those are your advice. And let's just get some moon cards lastly. Sorry, the reading was a little bit long. Adjustments are required, and that's exactly what this reading is about and what you're up to. So you got the memo. You're adjusting. And a new start is coming, Leo. That's freaking awesome. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Hello, can it be more clear than that? That's awesome. Confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. So you're awesome, Leo. You're tough. And you're so resilient. I know you're going to get through this. And I love to see what's on the other side for you in November.